Off-Grid family. Today I would like to make myself an area for just doing my electronics. I've been using my normal workbench, which is, you know, I use for woodwork and all that sort of thing, but I want a place just specifically for all of my electronics tools. And I sort of lost my way a bit with electronics recently. Over the last year I've hardly done any, and it's one of my greatest passions. I love to fiddle with things. You know, I've done a lot of taking apart, but I haven't done a lot of making. So what I want to do is make an area behind me here that is dedicated just to my electronics, so I can put my soldering iron, oscilloscope and various other things out on show so they look all beautiful and so that they can actually get some use. Because at the moment they get put out of the way and then they only get taken out if and when I need them, and it tends to be I'd rather not use them because I have to get them out and sort them out. So it sort of like is a little bit of a lazy trap for me. You know, if I can do it with something else, and for example, if I could get away with using a multimeter and not an oscilloscope, I'll get the multimeter because it's easier to get hold of, you know, and things like that. But I want to start making, I used to love making little modules for things and all these little electronic ideas, and I've got quite a big project coming up. I'm, you know, as always, I'm having to save for it, so I can't say when it's going to come out. But if you do want to become Patreon, click up there. No, I think it's up there, isn't it? I'll never get that right. But anyway, if you do want to become a Patreon, then you can actually help fund that project coming up. And any Patrons, I'll explain the next few projects I've got coming up. You know, my top secret stuff. So you know, you'll be in the know and no one else will. Anyway, I'm going to try and use a lot of recycled material. I have an old countertop that a friend of mine had his kitchen redone, and they had too much countertop, and he gave me some. So that is a nice marble effect looking thing, and I thought that'd be quite nice for the start of, you know, especially for the aesthetics kind of thing. If I'm recording from above, it'd be nice to have a nice marble effect top. Also, I haven't been able to get away with all recycled material. I've had to buy myself some of these, which are relatively cheap from sustainable sources, but I've got no wood like this, and it has to be semi-heavy duty because not only will it be a nice place to have all my electronic stuff out, but I'm going to hopefully have underneath storage, and then it's going to be in an L shape, and I'm hoping to have a place for all my power tools hidden out the way. Let me show you a design I came up with before I decided on an L shape, and then I'll give you a quick overview of what the L shape will look like. And basically I'll make a start, but I've got a lot of measuring to do before I do anything else. Okay, so this is a basic mock-up that I did originally, and it's inverted, so all of the L-shaped bits would be this side, but obviously for the viewer I couldn't do it that way. And basically it was just a bog standard desk, and then I was going to have wood up against the wall, because I don't like drilling into the walls. So this would be all part of the desk, and then this is places to hang like my spools of wire, tape and angle grinder discs. Drill bits would be here. This is the benchtop power supply, which I haven't stopped making, I just haven't got around to finishing, and various other bits and pieces. And then this is a real quick one that you might not be able to see in the camera. Yeah, you can just. But this is more what it's going to be like. All the same stuff, but it's going to be in an L shape. So there's going to be a thin plank of wood down this side, and then there's going to be shelving all underneath here for all my things like angle grinders, sanders, that kind of thing. And then under here I'm going to have some storage as well. So now I need to decide how, you know, all the dimensions and so on. I won't bore you with me measuring it all, but if I do come up with some dimensions, I'll probably put them up on the website. Okay, so that's the piece of marble effect countertop I'm going to be using, and I just think, you know, as I say, it's going to make it look more aesthetically pleasing. And then along this side here is all the recycled wood that I've got that I can use. These pieces here I'm going to be using for the L shape. So, you know, I'm going to use as much recycled material as I can. Okay, the first part's done. Literally just 3 pieces of wood tacked together, all levelled and so on. Although it doesn't look like it in the camera, but I think the camera's off a bit on a skew-F angle. But now I'm going to work on coming down here for the other shelving. Now I'm thinking about using the pieces of wood along this side to have my pillar drill on and my sander, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Okay, that's the L part of it sorted. a second leg on this side. There's nothing on this side at the moment, and I've just rested the countertops, the worktops on top. Let me just show you. These legs here aren't actually connected to anything yet, they're literally just balanced there. I need to connect a batten of wood all the way along the bottom and underneath. But I was just checking out these MDF bits. These here will be where I have all the tools and stuff. I might bring another lot in and bring it up eventually, but not at the moment. But I'm going to have one here and one along here, and then it's just going to have all bits and pieces of my tools on. But I'm not quite sure how I'm connecting all that together yet. I'm going to take all of the countertops back off now, and then I'm going to put the rest of the battens of wood in. I need to batten up at the bottom of these pieces of wood, another leg down here, and various other bits and bobs. Okay, so that's basically the frame done now. I need to put the shelf in first before I put any of the top layers on, just purely so that I can get to it. So I'm going to have to cut notches out to get it in there. But first I have to take this whole thing out of here, scooch it out, and I'm going to then connect the MDF boards to the back here. And I'll also have a strip of wood up the centre of the MDF to hold them together, but I'll do that once the actual countertop's on. Right, the MDF boards are on the back now, which was a lot harder than you'd think with my rotund shape to try and get round there and do it. And all of this, the frame now is done. So now it's a case of putting the top shelves and the bottom shelf on. I'll do the bottom one first because it will just make my life a bit easier, I think. Okay, so there's the bottom shelf in. I'm going to sweep the floor now and put the top shelf on. Okay, here it is. It's not the most beautiful thing in the world. I could tighten it up and sand things down, but that's not my character, that's not my style. So now I'm going to fill it up with stuff. I obviously have lots to do on the backboards. I've got a lot of different things and different ideas for that, but that'll have to wait for another video. Okay, let's get this filled with tools and stuff and get on. And there we go. Just a few of the tools. They're out now so I can get to them easily rather than being under a desk, you know, out of the way. And as I say, in the next video, or in a video, I will be putting lots of stuff up along the back wall. Thanks for watching, see you again soon. Bye.